Let's be real. Nothing makes somebody more unattractive than a lack of discipline. You could have the looks, the charm, the status, but if you don't have control over your own life, people see it, and it's ugly. Whether it's the guy that always says he's gonna hit the gym but never does, or the guy that talks about the business that he's going to start one day but never takes any action on it. At first, you might overlook it, but after a while, it becomes obvious they don't have discipline. And that's when respect starts to disappear. Discipline is attractive because it screams self-respect. It shows that you can not only keep promises to other people, but to yourself. When you're disciplined, you're reliable, you're consistent, you're somebody that people can trust. But when you lack discipline, it shows in your body, your energy, your habits, your words. And people might not say it, but deep down, they know it's unattractive because it's nothing but wasted potential. And it screams a lack of self-respect. The truth is, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about rising above your impulses. Showing that you control your life and your life does not control you. Showing that you control your mind and your mind does not control you. And when you lack the skill of discipline, you give off weakness, you give off laziness, and ultimately it becomes unattractive. The first component of building discipline is having self-respect and self-confidence. So how can you build that self-confidence that you've been striving for years and years and years? It's having an irrefutable stack of evidence proving you are who you say you are. When you go from being the man that never fulfills his word to fulfilling everything that you proclaim, your confidence will shoot through the roof because your identity is no longer loosely based on these empty promises that you've made for years, but it's about actions that everybody can see and everybody can respect. And the truth is, building discipline is not easy. And you're going to have to go through a lot of hard things to be able to achieve the level of discipline that's going to bring you to the next level. And this is by going through the hard shit, going through the suffering, and not looking for the shortcuts or the way around it. You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to seek out the situations that challenge you consistently, that constantly push the limit on what you believe is possible mentally, physically, spiritually, in order to break those thresholds that your mind gives you to lie to you and keep you within the box that you are stuck in. As I mentioned before, discipline is rooted in respect. Not only respect for your word, but respect for yourself. Showing up, not letting yourself down. I want you to ask yourself these questions. If you can't even trust yourself or trust your own word, what makes you think that anybody is going to trust you? If you can't rely on your own word and what you say you're going to do, how do you expect anybody to rely on you? Respect comes through integrity, showing up for yourself, standing on your word. You don't just aimlessly throw around words like they mean nothing. And actively, you are constantly showing up in the way that you said you would. Discipline and self-respect come from the art of delayed gratification. That at one point in time, later down the line, all of these efforts that you're putting out will prove to be something. They will come into fruition, and you will sow the seed in which you once planted. And the start of discipline is realizing that you have to do the stuff that you hate like you love it. It comes through denying yourself, not catering your daily actions, your daily habits based on what is comfortable to you, based on what your flesh wants, on what your mind tells you that you want. It's about doing the hard thing, doing the thing that you know you need to do that is going to bring you to the next level. And when you finally start showing up for yourself, you finally start doing those things that you've been saying you'll do for months, even years, you'll realize that it's not even as hard as you chopped it up to be in your own mind. When you're in a period where you are so paralyzed by your own thoughts and in the anticipation of completing a hard task, You oftentimes make it such a monster in your mind that it seems like such an insurmountable obstacle. But when you truly go to do these things, you realize that it takes a quarter of the time that you thought it would, and it doesn't take remotely as much out of you as you anticipated. And whether it's just waking up when you said you would, waking up when your alarm goes off, starting with the very small goals that you set out for yourself, the more of those goals that you compound, the more that your self-respect will continue to rise. And when you respect yourself, people feel it, they see it, and they respect you without you having to tell them why they should. And I'll reiterate the same logic that I stated earlier. If you don't respect yourself, nobody is going to respect you either. Real growth comes when you stop focusing externally and you start looking internally. When you hold that mirror up to yourself on a daily basis and find each and every way that you can improve yourself and develop into the person that you were called to be. If you clicked on this video and you're listening to what I have to say, I guarantee that you value motivation more than discipline. And that is the exact thing that has been hindering your life for all of this time. Because the truth is, motivation is not real. Discipline is real. And the more that you repeat behaviors, at first, it will feel so foreign to you. It will feel like you are going against everything that your mind and your body is telling you to do. But after just a couple of weeks, you have already built a better, healthier, more productive habit. If you can't take 14 days to build a new habit to change the rest of your life, then I don't know what to tell you. Motivation is a facade that is sold to people that don't want to put in the work, that want to find any shortcut to achieve great things without a great deal of work. And they wake up in anticipation of feeling so on fire to chase their goals every day, to always feel up and always feel in the emotional state to conquer their goals, that the second that they have an off day, everything collapses. Discipline is undeniable. Discipline is unshakable. If you do something enough to where it becomes second nature to you and it becomes a part of who you are, then it is not something that can be taken away from you. And that's when you start to make real growth and real progress in your life. And the truth is, the more you take care of yourself physically, the more you pay attention to what you put in your body, and the more you pay attention to how you groom and present yourself, the more people will instantly respect you. Another huge form of discipline is impulse control. Knowing that if you delay your gratification, that you don't give in to instant gratification, temporary satisfactions, then that will compound to your future growth. Having the foresight to know not to take the things that are easy, not to take the things that are accessible, and giving yourself an overload of cheap dopamine. Another form of discipline is in relationships and friendships. Do you stand on your word? Do you keep your promises? Are you unreliable and constantly flaking on people? And one of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it's somehow restrictive, that your life will be worse if you confine yourself to doing hard things, to pushing the limits, to doing the difficult things that you want to avoid. But this is where true freedom is found. Who you truly are, deep down to your core, your full potential, all of the skills that are already buried deep inside of you are found through those moments where you push yourself, where you do the hard thing, where you test the limits of your own mind, you test the limits of your own soul, you test yourself physically. This is where you find out those things that have been buried in you all along, and you start to realize who you truly are. Under the comfort, under scrolling on your phone all day, and under all of the instant gratification, distractive, dopamine hits that you give yourself on a daily basis. All of this ties together in the fact that attractiveness is beyond looks. Looks fade, money comes and goes, but discipline builds a reputation and a legacy that never fades. True attractiveness is rooted in your habits and how you conduct yourself. not your appearance. So if you want to become more attractive and more respected in every area of your life, build discipline. At the end of the day, discipline isn't about your routines, your schedules, your workouts. It's about who you are. When you build discipline, people feel it. You become somebody that people respect, somebody that people want to follow, and that they even admire. So ask yourself, are you letting your lack of discipline make you unattractive, make you somebody that people cannot respect? Or are you going to step up, build good habits, and finally become the person that you always said you would be? If you found value in this video, drop a comment in one area of your life where you want to build more discipline. And like, subscribe, and share it with somebody that needs to hear it. Because discipline might not be easy, but it's always worth it.